How's it going, chat? That's right, in 24 hours the DLC's gonna be out, and you know what that means. That's right, I'm gonna stream it. Probably. Probably. But yeah, tonight, it's you and me, chat. We're gonna edge ourselves. We're gonna do a little bit of foreplay before the DLC is released. That's right, chat. We're gonna watch some gameplay showcase. Alright, maybe this will help sell me on which lord I want to buy him the most. Let's start with a good old Skull Taker.
What you're about to see is pre-alpha footage of Omen of Destruction. This was recorded months in advance, so there's still some placeholders in game. We're really hard at work right now and can't wait for you to get your hands on it at release.
Ignore that.
Hunter, deliberate, relentless.
The eyes of Khorne blaze down upon us.
Ooh, he got his own little...
Killing. Seek out your prey.
He got a
bring it
cool-ass
down,
mount.
Bask in the favor of Khorne.
So let's get reaping those skulls, humiliating those lords, and showing
Hey,
off
hey,
that
hey,
fancy
wait, hey, hold up. Back a little bit.
So let's get reaping those skulls, humiliating...
Blood for the blood god, huh? Me when she's on that time of the month. Blood for the blood god.
those lords, and showing off that fancy cloak.
Bonjour, the Skull Taker. Oh no, Alberic, no. Not Alberic. No. My poor boy. My poor boy.
Izu the Skull Taker.
Uzu.
The Cranium Collector
The
himself,
poor
and
boy.
champion of Khorne. His presence in the known world will chill the chainmail of any champion, as he seeks out worthy champions to display their skulls on his trophy case of a cloak.
That part of the
Those
lore, I know.
unlucky enough to start their journey in Lustria will come face to face with him.
Oh, we're gonna get Lustria Brawl
Before we
over
begin,
again.
if you're seeking a full list of updates coming with Omens of Destruction, check out our blog through the links below. We began our campaign at Hualotl in the Guanji Valley, a beautiful sunny climate for slaughter.
Oh, boy.
Skulltaker is first and foremost a fighter,
Makes
with
sense.
strong melee attack and the Blooded
Ooh.
Wanderer trait, increasing his campaign movement range and line of sight, allowing him
Okay,
to
very
focus his
much-
efforts on his target.
Okay, so he's gonna
Basically,
run
don't
around
get
the
it.
Lustria a lot. Which is good. Lustria is one of those... Lustria and Norska are the two most, like, annoying places to travel.
Surrounded
Maybe
by
Eastern
disciples of
Cathay too.
Siege, we quickly moved over to Quitax for the first step of our skull harvest. It was a
Harvest.
modest result, which we raised for an additional Bloodhost army, expending our skulls in return for more momentum on the map. Our second attack was on Chakwe, and by this point,
Chakwe.
the lands had begun to bleed through with our corruption. The distant roars of the lizardmen
Blood
just
for the
north of us
blood
have
god.
quelled.
Blood for the blood
The
god.
result of
Blood for the blood
Bretonnian
god.
maniacs crusading through the jungles.
Oh
But
no.
they've stepped too far into
The
these
French.
lands,
The
and
French.
they don't know
The
what
French
awaits them.
maniacs.
And
French
so,
maniacs.
turn
Same
8.
thing.
We've made our first attack on Alba Extraction, raising Zahatek and spawning yet another Bloodhost army.
Okay, so...
Skulltaker is a Khorne faction, so he abides by similar rules.
So Khorne is all about raising now. I usually just sack and take the settlement, but I guess there's a better raising actually brings in more good things now.
You will be expanding towards your enemies, you will take over their settlements, you will sacrifice and raise them in the name of Khorne. However, we've introduced an interesting twist on this premise
Okay.
related to Skulltaker's Cloak of Skulls.
Which
More
is...
on that in just a moment.
Okay,
We're playing
guess
a bit
I'll
of a
wait
balancing
then.
game with our resources. Skulls provide us with Bloodhost armies, but we've got other uses for skulls now. Let's send one of our followers up to the settlement of Bragon to recover our lost skulls. It'll also provide a nice blow to
Recover
Albert,
lost
as
skulls?
raising a settlement now leaves
Oh,
it uninhabitable
one of the host
for other
army.
factions
Okay,
for
that
a
makes
few
sense.
turns. Be gone, Bragon.
Be gone,
That was
Bragon.
terrible, sorry. Oh,
Ooh.
hello.
Mr.
It's
Alberic.
fine, I need the skulls. Outbreak
Hey,
is our
skull
first
is
encounter
skull.
with a legendary lord.
Oh, the
His
wings.
reputation on
The
the
wings.
field
That's
means he's
that's
worth
my
more to us
graphics
than
when
a
I
generic
played this
lord.
game.
Defeating him will earn Skull Taker 60 points of
Ooh.
Champion Essence, which
it's
we can
almost
spend
like a
on
grudge
buffs through
system.
our Cloak of Skulls mechanic. His army is big though, so for now we'll leave him to his ruins and target Laxland. There is another tasty Bretonian skull there I can harvest, worth 16 Champion Essence. Bit of an easier target for us at this stage of our campaign.
I don't like the color of his banner.
According to
It's
lore,
gross.
the Skull Taker is a duelist. What he usually does is when, for example, Khorne forces are besieging a fortress, he stands before the gates of the fortress on his own and he issues a challenge. Sooner or later, someone marches out to face him, and they lose.
Why did they send the lady
Always,
to fight him?
invariably.
Like, why did they
You
send
will
the
see
wizard, the
that each of
prophetess
them
to fight
carries
him?
a different amount of champion essence.
That
which
was
depends
completely on
their
her.
level of experience and on the victories that they fought. This is a
Okay.
resource that you will gain once you face them in
So it
battle
is like a
and
grudge
defeat
system.
them. And you will use this champion
Oh,
essence
my.
to enhance the skulls on the cloak. Each of the skulls is giving you different bonuses. You can unlock bonuses, you can further upgrade them.
Nice.
So this is actually a chief part of your gameplay loop. Be on the lookout for meaty enemy lords with a lot of champion
meaty.
essence. Attack
No, not
them,
Marcus.
gain their
Not
champion
Marcus. No, they
essence,
don't, he doesn't
become
even have the
stronger,
new
and seek
DLC
other
units
prey
yet.
for you to hunt down.
Our
Look at
Cloak
those
of
hips
Skulls
sway,
holds many
though.
abilities in its noggins. For example, the Cloak of Skulls ability increases our armor and missile resistance, as well as making us immune to flanking. My
Like-
original Bloodhost armies are clinging on by their
guess-
claws, but they
I
make
guess
up for the
that's
lack of
useful.
recruitment I've made. Let's burn them up in one final battle and replace them as we move up north. Oh, hello Empire. What's this? Another tasty skull worth 16 essence points.
doesn't sound like a lot.
That'll take us past our threshold for the next skull on the cloak. I don't think I can turn that down. Let's give chase.
Doggies. Look at them good boys. Look at them good boys. Yeah.
My favorite unit of the Skull Taker is the Blood Beasts of Khorne. Huge, brutish, ape-like monsters that are exceptionally good on the charge.
They're probably-
They've got armor piercing
they don't
damage,
seem too
they
different
induce
from Rat
fear in their
Ogres.
enemies, and they have a particularly cool animation.
They roll.
They're particularly fun to use against goblins.
For no particular reason. They just are.
Goblins, you say? I hear rumors of goblin armies up in the old world. Perhaps a good spot for some champion hunting. Perhaps even a cathartic trip. I'm sure you'd like to meet the official 100th legendary lord. That is decided, right? Skull Taker? 100th? No one's going to question me.
It's one of the three. I mean, the three came out at the same time, so they're all the 100.
Marcus is making his way
Lord.
downtown. Let's move out the way and get some recruitment going for a welcome party.
The Khorne Gors, in comparison to the Pestigors and Zangors, bring forward a more aggressive, hard-hitting role. They feature all the best benefits and qualities
Ooh,
of
I love
the
the-
Mark of Khorne.
I
and
do
when
love
they
the
take
armor,
enough
that looks
damage, their
good.
ability will trigger, which will further enhance their
It's-
melee prowess.
It'd be good to have a character for Khorne to wear armor,
Alberic's
but
forces
you
are
know.
skulking around our lands. He'll likely regard
Yes,
strength, but with a
skulking.
higher population of skulls north of us, I think we'll head in that direction. I have something in mind for when Alberic is worthy of my attention, but let's also arrange some backup.
The
poor
Bloodspeaker is
guy.
a new lord that
Ooh.
plays a supportive role for Khorne. He specialises in buffing units around him, and when mounted, he adds that mobility.
Okay.
In order to boost our numbers
That's
further,
cool as
we're
shrine,
going
yes,
to
on his
utilize
head.
the Skull Throne, a new mechanic for Khorne that lets us spend our harvested
It's
skulls
just
on
skull
more
and blood,
campaign
skull
buffs.
and blood, skull and
Tiers
blood.
unlock with the more skulls you spend, so once Marcus is defeated, I'll probably reduce my spend on blood hosts and begin building my way up the throne.
Okay.
For now, I'll select
Wait,
Blood
that's
X
it?
Hill, which spawns
That's
us
the
two
final
extra units
reward?
for our new
Just a blood host?
Blood may be for the blood god, but today, the skulls are
sounds
for
boring.
our cloak.
The Khorne's not gonna like that. Ah man, that looks so badass though. And there he is on his big mount. So dramatic. We will defend Kate. We aren't even in Kate. Man, they should have released this track ages ago. They never did release a lot of the Total Warhammer 3 trailer music. Like, we never got the Daniel's trailer music.
It's turn 57, and we're deep in the jungles of Powalaxa. Lizardmen skulls are nice and all, but they look a bit out of place on my cloak. Regardless, the champion essence I've extracted along their sooter-like
It
robes
looks
has
funny.
fully unlocked my target tier, giving us the ability to teleport Skulltaker to lords he deems worthy to fight.
Okay.
Sir Alberic, who in my absence has been raiding my settlement and attempting to recover his dignity. He's doing fairly
Dignity.
well. Oh, he's taking back Laxland. And yep, he's taking out Itza. 96 points of essence. I think it's time. Before our attack, we'll utilize the Skull Throne one more time.
Okay.
We've amassed a hefty pile of skulls and can replenish our army to its full health.
Nice. Very useful, especially like when you're in bind. Could use a bit more units, but his doesn't look that scary. They always do this so well, like connected back to the trailer, switching out between the animation and the actual in-game footage. Maybe this is in-game footage. I don't know how they make these. Yes, cavalry charges, the most satisfying part of this game.
My favourite unit, it's definitely got to be the Slaughter Brute.
Yeah, that's the big monster of
It's
this
a large,
DLC.
hulking creature that has very little that can stop it in combat. Very proficient in taking down its enemies.
That one poor peasant. Yeah, you better run, buddy. What are you gonna do? Smack it with a shovel?
Skylar Anthengrim can be summarised as kill for corn. It's all we can say. It's going to be the last thing you hear, and he's very good at it.
Oh, he spit fire with his tail. Oh man, that looks. Oh, yep. Oh yeah, a full envelopment. Get them. Get him. Yeah. Bully the Bretonnian. It's a Warhammer tradition.
Our frontline hero who's themed around both self-revival and healing. He's going to be very
Ooh.
difficult to take down.
So it comes with 2 heroes. It's nice.
The Wrathmongers is a unit that I feel the players will get behind, and that's primarily because of their weapons, the Wrath Flails. That enables them to deal devastating splash attacks and in general just hard armor-piercing attacks.
Splash. Splash damage. Always fun to
The
watch
Skull
splash
Reapers are
damage.
similar to the Chaos Warriors of Khorne. While they have less armor, they are in no way less effective in combat.
Are they
They
cheaper?
are absolutely devastating against infantry whilst being cost-effective.
Cost effective. That's
I've been
what
trying
you
to get
gotta
Alberic
remember.
all battle, but he keeps flying around. This should trap him in position for us.
Oh no. We really are bullying Alberic.
Alberic may have recovered from our initial meeting, but upon his triumphant return, he has only proved himself a more worthy opponent to the Skulltaker.
Fly,
Will his glory
fly.
finally imbue the Cloak of Skulls? Will Skulltaker live up to his name?
Alberic do have
Let us
anti-large.
know in the comments below, or follow our
Ah.
links to wishlist now.
We all seen the trailer. We all seen how he lost his skull. Oh man, he's gonna get bullied so hard. Alright, time for some gold cigarette. Mr. Gold Cigarette, the ogre man. I wonder if I
What you're about
they
to
could
see
pick
is
up my
pre-alpha
accent on it.
footage of Omen of Destruction. This was recorded
Yeah.
months in advance, so there's still some placeholders in game. We're really hard at work right now and can't wait for you to get your hands on it at release.
You better. You better. You took your
Loud,
sweet
boastful,
time with
and
this
in
one.
charge.
Goldbag Man-Eater's hungry, and he's on a mission.
Goldcog sets up his camps, takes on some contracts, beats up everyone in the area, heads off again.
Money,
That's about
meat,
the
and
extent of
open
his
road.
lore, yeah.
Life's good when the loot's flowing. What more could an ogre possibly need?
Women.
Goldbag Man-Eater. Are you his friend? Or his food? If you've coin, you can placate him. At least for a time. Yes, if the price is right, Goldfag will fight for any cause. But there's one closest to his heart. His stomach. Forget fame, forget sprawling hosts and great nations. Goldfag hungers for bounties and meals of mammoth proportions.
Yeah, mammoth. Get
And
it?
lucky for us,
Mammoth
we've
proportion.
stumbled upon a buffet. I don't know why Ostlin and Nordlin are fighting, but they've money and hate enough between them to keep us interested for a picnic or two.
Yummers.
We'll bleed both sides dry and move on. An easy feat with the man-eater trait. Increased income from post-battle loot and decreased upkeep for man-eater units makes Golfag a ravenous plague of an ogre. No surprise
And
that
they
he's
give
the
him
most
the gun,
successful and well-travelled
the
of
gun
his
that
kind. I'd
fucking
expect
lore
no
master
less
worked
from
so
the
hard to
official
put in.
100th legendary lord, despite what Andrew may have claimed in his showcase.
Yes, this definitely.
But even living legends fall on hard times. We've a crummy camp, forlorn funds, and a lamentable larder. Our lads are eager to build up their loot piles, and a rumbling belly is to an ogre what peace is to a greenskin. Just unacceptable. Best get raiding.
That's
Raiding's
right.
a bit like reading if you're an illiterate ogre.
Wait, hold on.
So do browse. Best get.
Emperor Karl Franz is a hero now. He's a hero for the ogres. Yes, a very early tier hero for the ogres. I knew it. I knew it.
Raiding. Raiding's a bit like reading
When can we get
if
that
you're
campaign?
an illiterate ogre. So do browse our blog for a deeper dive into any of the mechanics, characters, and units introduced in this showcase. Now then, I'm Peckish. Roast bull, anyone?
Yummers.
Golfag brings his loud, boastful personality into combat, and you'll quickly see this as he's tearing through enemy infantry, or just bogging down larger infantry such as cavalry or
his stats
monsters.
are better than
But
Mr.
one
Skull
unique
Taker.
aspect he brings in for the ogres is the ability to take range shots or pop shots at enemy infantry.
Bang.
Golfag, he can go
He
anywhere,
looks
work
so
for anyone,
small
and get
compared
involved
to
in
him.
anything he wants to. The downside of that, though, is that the more time he helps out other factions, the less time he is building up his own economy. Golfag sets up his camp, sacks and raises to get all the meat and loot he can from the surrounding area, and maybe he finds a contract to work for someone. He'll go and take on their enemies, beat up them, and then he finds the next contract somewhere else.
Rinse
We've
and
eaten,
repeat.
raised, and sacked our way through bickering menfolk and exotically seasoned green things to find ourselves in Oster,
Marinated.
a land ripe with war, which can only mean fresh contracts. Golfag's contracts are a unique way to meet new people, see the world,
Ooh.
and make a little bit of pocket money.
Oh
But
my-
they shouldn't
okay,
be
this
confused
sounds fun,
with Ogre
though.
Kingdom's contracts, which have been renamed to bounties and have had their own tweaks. Golfag's
Okay.
contracts are entirely different,
I never
giving
touched
Total
those
War
when I play
Warhammer its
ogres.
first proper mercenary faction.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, when we set up camp in a new region, the warring factions of that region are eager for us to turn the tide of their silly little squabbles.
Okay, but this also means that we could easily get wiped out if we're not careful.
Yeah, I get it, Countbat. Face the Empire's real mean. You got gold, or are we just chin wagging? Oh, now we're cooking. All right, yeah, we're in.
Yeah. What they're doing over there? Oh no. One chest was all it took.
With the contract accepted, we've now a turn limit to fulfill the requirements and reap the rewards.
That's all you need to convince
To
me.
fulfill
Your
the
chest.
contract, we must take aggressive actions against the target faction or factions to gain points towards an overall goal. Once that goal is
Ah.
met, the contract's fulfilled,
Very
and we
similar
can
to
either
a
stay
mercenary
employed to the
contract
client
from Three
or take our
Kingdoms.
loot and find new business elsewhere.
If you play as a bandit
Of
faction.
course, once that contract's fulfilled, there's nothing preventing us from turning around and accepting a new one from the faction we previously terrorized.
That is true.
Yeah, I
Do
get
we
it.
automatic-
Matchup vampires are real mean, but they're also quite lean from a meat perspective. So
Do we automatically get peace? Make peace once we finish the contract? I hope we do. That would be awkward if we don't.
you're on your own, mate.
Oh no.
Set up shop, fight for the locals, eat
Poor
the
Lord
locals, take their
of
gold,
Ostermark.
and move on. That's the life for Goldfag. Each contract takes us further and further afield, our camp forever trailing behind us. Wherever there is war, there are contracts. Some are tempting, but not always in the direction of our heart's desire. In this way, Goldfag edges ever closer to his mammoth meal. Northward
Ooh,
then,
that
into
booty.
Kislev, or, as we like to
bacon.
call it, the Frozen Isle.
Contracts are really
Frozen
exciting.
Isle.
It's a completely new lens on the Warhammer world. Normally, you look at territory as, I need to go get this for myself. That's just my new expansion. But now you consider, there's a nice contract here. Do I actually work for someone else and give the land to them? Maybe double cross them later and give it to somebody else. And later again, maybe it should be yours after all.
The current army ability system for the ogres doesn't necessarily take into account what they're all about. They're these
guess
large
that's true.
creatures that's all about charging into combat and tenderizing any target that's in their way. Through the rework, we're going to be changing that, so every unit that's charging on the battlefield, the player will progressively gain points to spend on their army abilities.
Ogres in Warhammer 3 are already a great race, but we felt that it was missing a little bit of the nomad fantasy that comes from the tabletop. So now
And the
we've
lore
made
in
camps
general.
more important, allowing them to move, changing how they build. We've also made meat more important to emphasize
Meat.
sacking and raiding. So when ogres turn up to your territory, it's trouble, and you need to get rid of them as soon as possible.
Oh, work
Great
with them.
Orthodoxy, Ice Court, they taste the same, so what are they fighting about? Don't know, don't care. We're happy to brawl for all sides, so long as the gold and the meat keep flowing. And both are. The
meat.
camp's growing thanks to our excess of meat, the lads' bellies are full, making them better fighters, and Goldfag's gained a bit of notoriety, earning himself
bit.
a big name. Big names have altered requirements to gain, and are now more powerful than they used to be.
On
You
water.
could say they're bigger than before. But big ogres means big hunger, and meat will now play a more vital role in the ogre playstyle. We'll need meat to grow our camps, manage the effectiveness of our units in battle via the hunger gauge, and use it to decide how to interact more tactically with the Great Maw.
Oh
Speaking
man,
of
that's
meat,
so
Kislev's
much
offering
better.
a decent buffet, but it's not quite the feast we were hoping for. Norska then. Let them tremble before our big names.
Currently, you can only have a single big name, which isn't really true to how the ogres are. Greasus has many. So now you can have all of the big names, but to make it a bit more balanced, we've made the conditions to get the big names a bit harder and made the effects a bit more exciting to match.
Do they
Big names
stack
will
now?
have a more grander impact in battle through various buffs to statistics or just additional abilities that will help give you that edge in combat.
Please tell me they stack now.
The offerings
Support
to the Maw
specialist.
right now are one-use abilities that happen every 10 turns, which we didn't think was very engaging. So
Yeah, it wasn't.
now you can have multiple offerings to the Maw active at a time, but it just
Okay.
comes with a meat upkeep. So if you've got lots of meat on your armies, you can have all of them going at a single time, but it's
Oh
going to
my
cost
god.
you.
Who cares?
Doth my
Just
rumbling belly
Stuff
betray
it
me?
all in.
Nay, 'tis it,
Okay.
the promised meal. One last battle to fulfill Marienberg's contract, and a
Mammoth.
mammoth meal to sink our teeth into. First though, let's change up our offerings to the Great Maw, making them battle-focused for the feast to come. This is it, boys. Ready your bellies, file your teeth, open your gobs, and let's get some meat.
Meat.
Right, here's the
Move
plan.
the other army
Kill the
in to help.
menfolk till they die dead, then eat them afterwards. Great plan, best plan. Yeah, they've got cavalry, giants, mammoths, skin wolves, and the wrath of the
Just,
chaos gods
appetizers.
behind them. But we've got pigback
Seasoning.
riders.
Yeah!
It's a
Yeah!
very unusual unit, but it's through that unusualness you'll find a bit of a surprise. They're very well equipped against cavalry units and just large units in general.
So they're the early
Oh, no,
anti-large.
no, Wolfric, no. You're not getting away from us that easily. Meet my good friends, the Yetis.
Yetis are these mountainous,
They move like
aggressive
trolls.
creatures that have an unusual
I
ability
think
to
that's just
create
a troll
ice weapons
animation
that
for
crude
most of
objects,
them.
such as clubs. They're also able
wielding
to
trolls.
debuff units around them.
Debuffs are great, but this is just all a bit chaotic. Thank the Great Maw, we've got a bruiser keeping everyone in line.
Bruiser
Bruiser!
both acts as an aggressive and supportive role for the Yoga Kingdoms. Where the Tyrant's attention lays elsewhere, it's down to the Bruiser to make sure that everyone is fighting to the best of their capabilities.
Sometimes
so
the
basically a
bruiser's not
captain.
enough. Sometimes you need
Yeah!
Brad the gunsman.
Yeah! Yeah! Oh boy! Here comes the
Bragg is a
boy!
Reaper and an Executioner both in name and from the gameplay perspective. He's a terrifying
at his-
figure amongst the
look at his-
ogres.
Look at his
due to
little
taboo way of
animation. He's
killing
having
them.
so much fun.
You know, this is shaping up to be quite the dinner party. All we're missing now is the Thunder Tusk.
Oh man, it could carry two of them.
The Thunder Tusk is this large, hulking creature that's able to manipulate the elements around it to create ice projectiles.
Sacrifice do. We sing and they don't let this part of the fun. Cause the ogres are coming to get ya. Oh my god, release the soundtrack already! Here comes the
Victory so
dumping
certain, Goldfag can already smell the barbecues and taste gold on his tongue. All that's left now is... Wait, no, we didn't order fast food. Come on, Goldfag. A bit of cardio before dinner never killed anyone. Will Goldfag catch his meal? How far will his stomach take him? Or will you indulge his lust for
Yeah.
loot and raid the world? Thoughts,
Nah, just eat
comments,
everything.
recipes? Let us know in the comments below or follow our links to wishlist now.
Wait, hold on. Recipe? Recipe. Is there actually any recipe? Hey, Orkoi. meat. Yeah, that's an Orkoi thing to do. Okay, here we go. Perfect mammoth steak. Step 1, find mammoth. Step 2, kill mammoth. Step 3, make big fire. Step 4, throw mammoth on fire. Step 5, eat. Yeah, that sounds about right. And what did they say? Mwah. Mmm. Yeah, that's fun. All right, one last before we call it. We prepare for the game for the DLC release. I heard this. I've been getting mixed feeling about this one, but I guess we'll see.
What you're about to see is pre-alpha footage of Omen of Destruction. This was recorded months in advance, so there's still some placeholders in game. We're really hard at work
Benji,
right now and can't wait for you to get your hands on it at release. Cunning, brutal, unrelenting.
Look out, Gorbad Ironclaw's rubbing some brain cells together, and he's going to war.
He not only is big and strong and can really pack a punch, he can also think pretty well.
Strength, smarts, and proper.
Benji! Sorry about that. I think he heard something outside. Anyway.
For invasions, from Solon to Ostermark, the Empire best beware, the Ironclaw Orcs have a plan.
Oh, and he's back. Even though he's been dead for 300 years. 200, I think. Ooh, hand.
Gorbad Ironclaw once comatose a warboar with a headbutt.
Makes sense.
Gorbad Ironclaw once slayed an emperor.
No.
Infamous is too small a word for a war boss of such horrific deeds, and yet
I gotta read
it
up
is
on
not
his
his
lore now.
strength or cruelty that has earned Gorbad his bloody reputation. No. Gorbad possesses something his bone-headed brothers lack. A brain.
A brain. Yeah, knew it.
Of course, I should clarify he's smart for an orc, which is to say on par with the average Bretonian farmer. For example, Death Pass is one settlement away from being ours, and whilst we were driving the Skaven away from Blackrack, some cheeky gobbos went and stole Iron Rock. Maybe that's more a me problem. Either way, it's a good thing Gorbad instills undying loyalty. The Great Leader gives massive boons to Gorbad's leadership stats and opens up Orcs are the best and
good
Gorbad's War. Both abilities that tell me if hitting the enemy hard enough isn't working, I should buckle down, think about the situation, and hit them even harder.
Aggressive.
And what hits
that
harder
makes
than
sense, he's an
squigs?
orc.
Oh, lots of things, but we'll work towards building the squid cages to open up recruitment of the Night Gobbling Big Boss and Mangler squids with mid-game goal of fielding a colossal squig. Or 5. Big squigs are it, that's what Mork always says. For now, we use that big old brain and get some growth going. Speaking of smart, some big brain humies with good words wrote a blog deep diving into all things Gorbad.
Yeah,
Like what you
go
sing,
read
it.
Go read into
If you
big
can.
thinking.
Right,
So do some big
let's kick
thinking.
these scabby
Read them
gits
words,
out of Iron Rock.
the pretty
Can't hope to
words
defeat
that
the
hear
Empire
me
if we
right.
can't beat a few stupid little gobbos.
Gorbad himself is a very strong single entity unit that can really fight well, but also lead from the front and buff up his allies around him. What makes him different to other orcs is that he can actually think better than most of them, which helps him utilize some tactics that would be very uncommon for orcs. Utilizing goblins or arrows where is needed, and that can sometimes lead to winning battles that would otherwise have been lost.
We were inspired by Gorbad's lore as this master tactician leading wars across the old world. To bring Gorbad to life, what we have to include...
There, stop clipping me and saying I have a weak war. Wah. It's
this special unique trait of Gorbad, which is everyone is a useful part of his war machine, and he's going to use all of them in each special way.
Alright boys, here's the plan. Take a dwarf, build up it proper like, and launch invasion into the Empire.
The Humies.
Let's not continue with that. We've consolidated Blood River and made tentative alliances with the surrounding orc tribes. Thorgrim still holds strong in the Silver Road, but we'll stamp him out on good time. Progress well made comes thanks to Gorbad's plan. Through vigorous trial and error, Gorbad has discovered that certain combinations of units assembled correctly, used in the right moment against the right enemy, makes the gits bleed good. Bolts and spears, spears get shot. Big uns and giants, big uns get squashed. Arrows and squigs, here we go. We're onto something, boys.
I am up.
Look, I've trivialized Gorbad's intelligence so far, and perhaps that was a bit unfair. He is, after all, the official
The Mangler
100th
Squid.
legendary lord. We've heard foolish claims from
Supposedly.
elsewhere, but
Supposedly.
can Goldbad create dozens of combinations of units? No. Can Skulltaker combine 3 tactic slots per army? No. Only Gorbad encourages
tactic
innovative
slots.
thinking, ultimately assembling mixed armies with specific purposes. Gorbad's plans
That
are
sounds-
loftier than what units to recruit, focusing on how combinations of units interact with each other.
I wonder how
to create
broken
a
that can
deadly
get. It
synergy.
doesn't sound like it can get very broken though.
100th legendary lord indeed.
The plan is an awesome mechanic because it offers a
The
ton
plan.
of different options for Gorbad and his other armies. Using different types of units, combining them together.
Actually, you know what?
recruit
It
a
might
bunch
be
of
perfect
units.
for Doom
If you
stacks.
get the correct unit combination, you'll have a eureka moment. You'll then unlock a new tactic. So the loop is very much experiment with the units in your forces, have some eurekas, and then make the best combination of tactics.
Are
you
they
can
actually
for
called
each army.
Eurekas? That's
So you might
funny.
end up with a different spider-themed army,
Eureka.
or a goblin-themed army, or an
Eureka.
orc-themed
Eureka.
army across your whole campaign.
Urethra.
And the whole idea is make a bunch of different bonkers brigades and have the best time.
We got a little carried away in Solent, but we've taken the Moot and Avalon, and we're teaching Elsbeth a thing or two about our smarts. With
That
none
we are
next in
very
line for a
smart.
good brawling, we want every edge we can get. Thankfully, we've got an abundance of scrap.
Wreck it.
Hold up,
Ooh.
scrap's looking a bit different. Acting different too. Oh, that's right.
my.
All scrap upgrades are balanced for their power level and cost. In the interest of player freedom, we can now both stack and replace scrap upgrades on units, allowing us to build our units tall or wide.
Okay, so it's not just
throughout
one
our
thing
armies.
anymore.
For Gorbad's army, we're
Nice.
prioritizing
Nice.
melee, so we can go tall for our assault on Nuln. But scrap
Yeah.
and big thinking might not be enough. Nuln's well defended and we don't want to lose momentum. Not when we're a squig step from Reichland. Time to call Awah.
Wow.
We'll gather the lads and raid the area for a few turns before beginning our assault. Like his rival Orc and Goblin legendary lords, Gorbad has his own take on the Big War army ability, and whilst the bonuses are fairly standard, the length of his War is significantly longer. Furthermore,
That's-
a successful War nets him
Okay, that's
additional
alright,
units
I
on
guess.
top
Not
of
really-
the
that
usual
doesn't sound that
trophies.
good.
Longer War, more dead gits, proper smart, proper.
We
Braba.
really like the Orc and Goblin scrap mechanic. We think it's got some really cool flavor in there right now. But we thought, why not let you go further?
Okay, how further?
So now you can have multiple scrap upgrades on your units. We've also
Sword
created
and Shield
new
Black
scrap
Swords,
upgrades
nice.
as well as doing a balance pass. So it's really in your hands. Do you do a bit of scrap on all your armies, or do you scrap one army all the way up to the 9?
Scrap them all. If you don't got enough, you scrap
Should
to
be
upgrade
running out
all
from
the
behind his
boys.
wall. Smart
You
to
ain't
stay behind
warring
him.
right.
Done now. Don't know why Franz left the
Yeah.
safety of Altdorf, but who cares? Now's our chance to prove we're better than everyone else. We did have dragged wagons tactics selected to keep our movement up as we toured the Empire, but for our attack on Karl, we will change up our plans. Shoot to run should do the trick. He's never gonna
Yeah.
see this coming. Let's go,
You
lads.
never see
Wah!
it coming. It's war. Say it
It's
right.
not enough just to win here. We need to crush them. Prove once and for all we ain't dumb.
Ooh, the big
Best way to do
squeak.
that? Blast their heads off with the Savage or Great Shaman.
The Savage or Great Shaman brings awesome utility to every greenskin orc army because now they can have a lord that has access to the big was.
It's belly flop.
Every big war needs big bolt throwers. Just another example of our
Warrior
superior
rise,
smarts.
it's time to fall. Sharpen your axes, man of steel.
The bolt thrower is
thrower.
new type of artillery, which is going to be quite useful against heavily armored
that's
targets
new?
because it
Oh
offers
my
a
god,
lot
I've been
of
playing so
armor
much
piercing
modded
damage.
that I thought it was that,
You know what
that
they
they
say?
already added
Don't need
it
to worry
ages
about
ago.
armor piercing if you aren't wearing armor. Yeah, let's go, Snaggler. Box them in. Let's squeeze the life out of them.
Yeah. Show them what it means to be a
For Snaggler
gobble.
Grubspit, it's all about spiders. And it can
Spiders.
also immobilize the enemy characters
spider
to
looks so intimidating.
assassinate them.
There's the subtle art of assassination,
Look
and
at
then
it
there's the
drooling.
subtle art
Ugh.
of mounting a catapult on a giant spider. Either way, Carl's not getting out of this one.
The Ragnarok Flinger offers good new utility
Flingers.
of having an artillery mounted on top of an Ragnarok spider.
Does it shoot
With all
while moving?
escapes cut off, it's time for the colossal squigs to flatten their way
Yeah.
to the stupid soft humans.
Look at him row. Look at the big boy row.
The Colossal Squig is the biggest squig you've ever seen. It's going to be amazing against enemy infantry and will probably be able to swallow whole enemy soldiers.
He's just having fun. Yeah, you got him. You got Carl. Claim the Emperor as your bride.
Oh, the Humies are on the back foot. They're nothing against the Green Tide. Nothing.
Wait, what's this?
What? Ogres? That sneaky kid.
No.
Carl's only gone and hired damn ogres to save him. Right.
No,
well,
this.
Easy.
Wait a
Ogres,
minute.
bigger
Wait a
humans,
minute.
so-
We've been here before. I feel like. Wait a minute.
Okay.
This.
What are we? Some kind of.
Wait a
Omens of
minute. I'm
destruction?
getting deja vu. This Omen of Destruction. So that's how we end up here. Ah, clever, clever. Clever trailer makers, people. Very clever.
Yeah, but they aren't gonna.
Yeah.
Will Gorbad prove his intellectual might? Can he stand against Karl Franz, Skull Taker, and Goldback? Or will you plumb the depth of his genius? Thoughts, comments, wahs? Let us know in the comments below, or follow our links to Wishlist now.
Hey, hold on. Hold on. I gotta do something real important. Maybe we'll open the show with a friend we made along the way. I love Tariff. Wow. Ah. Yeah. Yeah. And with that, the original video will be in the comments, or you could just go to the Total War channel itself and watch it there. But remember to like, comment, subscribe them out before doing it to me. And I love it when you do it to me. Yeah. Also, check out my stream soon. I'm gonna stream probably the Ogres. Probably the Ogres. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be the Ogres. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you during the stream. Bye-bye.